with another video. And today I want to talk about how society is completely over. A lot of people are making money off of saying that society is collapsing. I'm here to tell you that it's already collapsed, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. That's just how life goes. If you've been watching any of my videos, you know that I've said this before, and you know that there's a ton of doomsday talk about the future of this world and society, Western society as we know it. And honestly, if you look at all the signs, people are still trying to avoid the obvious, and that's the fact that it's already over. Now, we're going to talk about this and go into detail, but I need you to understand that this isn't a pessimistic thing. This is just reality. If you see the water behind me, you cannot deny that there's water behind me if you want to figure out how to get across this. You will drown trying to walk straight through it. That's just the reality of the world. It's not a bad thing. It's just the way it is. So, what am I talking about? Well, if we get into it, the first example I want to give is the internet. Yes, I'm outside. Yes, I'm touching grass. But that's not where the world happens anymore. As you can tell, the power factor, the factory behind me isn't, people aren't here at this park because of that. Okay, so the algorithm is the first example I want to give. It's not made for you anymore. It really hasn't been since 2014 at the latest. That's probably when it died. The situation is that the internet is for the most people, okay? It is, utilitarian in that approach, in that it's trying to serve the most people at once. It gains the most from the most people. So it's not the West. Sorry, there's more people all over the world besides where the West is. And honestly, I'm specifically talking about India and China. That's who the internet's for. China is trying to have their own ethnocentric internet, trying to keep themselves somewhat stable from outside corruption. And I don't know if that's working or not, but I do know that India has taken over the internet, and that's the way it has been, and it is going to be. Now it is becoming so prevalent because they're realizing their power level, how much effect they're having, and they're realizing that they can predominantly push what they want onto the internet. But it's been that way since 2014. People just haven't noticed because it started with the underworkings of everything, and now it is pushing itself out and loud and proud. Here's how I know this. If you go on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, really anything, and you see something that is directly counter to their culture. So, taking a step back really quick, this is seen through Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and honestly today you can see it by the comments, by what is going viral, by what has the most likes. It is centered around Indian culture, or what is acceptable in Indian culture. It's just true. I'm not here to discuss whether that's good or bad. Honestly, for me and for the people that usually watch this is bad. If you're Indian, this is great for you. But for everyone else that has a Western-centric mind or philosophy, this is bad for you, because that means your perspective on the world is dying out. So, yeah, it's been this way since 2014, and it will continue to be this way. It's dead. The internet's dead. There's nothing you can do about it because of this. It's honestly just been a race of having third places on the internet, third websites you go to that eventually are overtaken. The pathway goes like this. Single men create an environment of which it is unique, creative, and to them. They try to gatekeep it as best they can. Women join the website or wherever else it is, the community, the niche, and then everyone else follows after that. It's predominantly white at first, and then it's overtaken. If you feel that this isn't true, go ahead and list some websites that weren't that way, didn't start off that way, and didn't grow into something else. Obviously, an example is 4chan. Reddit. Obviously, an example is what is it called, .org or whatever, the Black Pill site or whatever. And this is the reality of the internet, and it will continue to go that way until no places are created at all. Obviously, this has been slowing down. Obviously, all culture has been slowing down. That doesn't mean it's completely stopped, but it's been over. You live in the after effect of the West dying. When an animal dies, their body still rots, and their body still contains life besides it, that require it, that still continue without it living itself. And that's where we are today. Now, that doesn't mean that something better can't come out of this, but it does mean that you will never have the original. You will never have what people on Twitter like to call, 2005 Halo, or Xbox 360, or original PC culture of the early 2000s, or the party aesthetic of the 90s. It's never coming back. You will try to replicate it. You will bring things similar to it, but not exactly the same, and it will never hit the same. That is nostalgia. You'll never be able to recreate it perfectly. It will never come back. And the sooner we realize that, the sooner we can build something better, the sooner we can get over this next hurdle and do something greater than we've ever seen. We want that. We don't want to be forever stuck to the recession of becoming slums, warlords. We want to create something greater because we can. That is our literal purpose of society. Many people think, oh, aren't you primal anti-society? No, I'm just in tune with what our nature is and what society could be, our potential. So we need to come to the conclusion that the internet's dead. Basically, that's the point. And the West is dead. There's no saving it. The internet is dead, and I can prove this by what the people who run the internet say, or what the future of the internet will be. Obviously, we know AI will take over. ChatGPT, Sam Altman specifically said, and you can go look this up, that in 2030, ChatGPT will be made for Indians from India. It is for them. They already know that. They're the ones that put in the most data. It's gone. It's not for you. And you may say, well, how does that affect me particularly? If it's not coming from your point of view, from your original cultural mindset, you will get a completely different result by using it. Already, we're seeing studies that your creativity is practically being permanently taken away from your brain power by using ChatGPT. Your ability to create ideas, to put two and two together, and I don't really want to go down this rabbit hole of, oh, you're dumb because you need ChatGPT to think. I don't think that's the case. AI can be a tool if used correctly, but the AI itself needs to be centered around your people. It can't be based off everyone in the whole world all at once, because then only two groups win. And I said those two groups earlier. And if it's not them, it's the smallest group that has the control that they don't tell you about. And it's not people of the West, I will tell you that. Subversion is just not a moral characteristic of Western values. I'm sorry, but it isn't. And I'm not saying it's all of Eastern either. Please just have critical thinking power here and try to draw connections for yourself. But in order to save what we want to be preserved and what we want in our future, in our kids' future, in our grandkids' future, we have to stick up for it now. We cannot let it, well, like I said, it's already dead, but now we have to bring it back. It's easy to say, well, this is what I stand for and I think this is right. Okay? But the hard part isn't that. It is to say, Now you have to believe it. You have to do this if you're going to be in what I control. Whether it's territory, whether it's ideology, whether it's your niche community. And that doesn't mean that you have to gatekeep everything all the time forever, because you're not just trying to protect it, you're trying to spread it. And you may say, well, I hate when other people spread their thing onto me. Okay, yes, but if you're not the one doing it, you're the one taking it. So which one are you going to be? Again, this sounds aggressive. This may be my most aggressive video yet, but it is because it is true. And we cannot do anything until we take that step, until we define those rules. And so many people are so easily flip-flopped by things that aren't even put into their brain, that we've come to this point where we know, even for our own, the masses cannot control themselves, even for our own communities. So this video honestly isn't for about 50% of you watching it that are a part of the West. Sorry, you just don't have enough control or enough introspection to you don't have enough introspection into yourself to realize when you're being controlled or manipulated or subverted. And we will work on that. You're gonna have to watch some more videos, my own or others, that will maybe save you from the mistakes of that. Everyone has fallen for something like this at one point or another, but honestly, by 2025, you really need to be realizing this, if you haven't already, that so many of us have been subverted by such obvious things in that we thought were from our own, but completely weren't. Now I'm gonna mention one sort of boomerism that I heard the other day that just made me think about how dead society already is. And that is that boomers will sometimes say, well, you know, in my day, I would be able to save money by eating a peanut butter jelly sandwich, or like a sandwich, instead of having to spend money on a meal outside of the house. And they'll say, like, why don't you just do that, right? And the funniest thing is that their peanut butter jelly sandwich compared to your peanut butter jelly sandwich is two completely different foods. Their bread was healthier, not filled with microplastics, not pumped with weird chemicals, weird, what is it called, like fertilizer sprays, or sprays to protect the bread from bugs, the wheat from bugs, stuff like that. And their jelly was real organic jelly, but they didn't call it organic jelly, it was just jelly. So their jelly was cheap, not only cheaper, but more organic than the jelly you get today. The same with the peanut butter. Today your peanut butter is, well, peanut butter is already a PUFA, like, you know, it's already technically a seed oil, but now your peanut butter is just pumped with vegetable oil, which is just insane to think about. Most people's diets is vegetable oil, whether or not they cook at home or not. Only people aware of seed oils itself have a diet maybe that is less vegetable oil, but there's still going to be some because it's so inescapable, and they did that on purpose. But whatever. So yeah, that was a 2019 topic. We are past that. We're past trying to save the internet. Honestly, if you think you can save the internet, it's over for you. It's seriously over. Okay? You need to be focusing on gathering people together, having enough money through scavenging what's left of Western society, and then pushing for your seed to grow out of the dead forest, to grow out of the burned fire. You have to not, honestly, the fire is going on right now. You are a plant in the jungle, and the fire is burning around you, and it is your job to get your seeds, which is you, your kids, your grandkids, drop into the dirt, collect all the nutrients while the fire burns, and then grow out of the fire, grow after the fire. Honestly, you need to be the seed that withholds the moisture to fight the fire. there may not be much you can do to prevent what's coming, but there is a lot you can do in order to have some sort of preservation to build into the future. Because if you don't, then there will be no forest to grow afterwards. And it will become, I don't know, what would you like to say, a desert? It will become something of which it is not good. That's all I know. That's all I can tell you. And I mean, maybe you don't care, but our great times 10 or whatever else, grandkids will. I promise you that. And they will resent you for it, just as you resent your ancestors for letting this happen, for letting the problems we have today happen. And you can say it's not their fault. It partially isn't. But could you say that they could have done better? Honestly, they probably could have, like, seriously. I'm not going to say they couldn't have. We don't know. And I know that if we can judge the previous generations for what they've done so far, millennials, Gen X, boomers, then surely we can blame further generations. Surely the future generations will look at us with the same judgment. And that's okay. That's fair. That's fair. But yeah, in terms of the internet itself, it's dead. It's dead. And that's basically what I wanted to mention in this video. If you know anywhere that is still alive on the internet and still good, let me know. Contact me personally on Instagram, on Twitter, on TikTok. These places we're basically the maggots inside the corpse, let's not lie. But there's gonna be somewhere, there's gotta be somewhere. I will try to create my own, of course, but I'm trying to build a community first of these maggots. We'll be better though. We gotta rise through, we gotta rise up from the ashes. Like literally, I guess that is literally what I'm saying. But yeah, we're already in the burnt forest, if not a burning forest. But there is no green left. There is no green left. Let me know what you think. Comment below.